Alright everyone, so it looks like some key specs have been revealed on the new Moto G Stylus 2023, and you guys may not like the processor that it has. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. As you guys can see, the headline says Motorola Moto G Stylus 2023 passes through Geekbench revealing key specs. Now this is from gsmarena.com, so if you guys want to read the article, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But as you guys can see, it says the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2023, codenamed Geneva and sporting model designation XT2315, has popped up on Geekbench with its key specs. According to the benchmark database, the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2023 runs Android 13 and has 4 GB of RAM on board. However, rumors claim the smartphone will come with up to 6 GB of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage. So it looks like our base RAM is going to be 4 GB of RAM, and considering our secondary storage option is going to be 256, our base is probably going to be 128. So 4 GB of RAM, 128 storage. And comparing this to other devices in the price range, the RAM is kind of low. The Galaxy A54 is going to actually release with 6 GB of RAM, so this is kind of low. I think their main selling point always has to be their, features with the stylus, and of course their Moto actions and all that type of stuff. And hopefully they release some new features this year. I'm really hoping that they do that, especially in the stylus aspect. I know Moto actions is something that everybody loves, the chop for camera, the screenshot or whatever and all that type of stuff, but I'm hoping that they do have some other key features with the stylus. That would be super cool. But it also says the Moto G Stylus 2023 is powered by MediaTek's octa-core processor, having 6 cores clocked at 1.8 GHz and 2 cores at 2 GHz, suggesting it could be part of the Helio G85 or G88. So I know how you guys feel about MediaTek processors. It seems like some of you do like them. I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to see how they run, but a ton of you, I feel like the vast majority of you, do not like MediaTek devices. And I think because of the chip shortage, we're going to be getting more MediaTek chipsets, and they've become a really big household name, even at like CES and Mobile World Congress and all that type of stuff. They've become like a household name. So you're going to be seeing those processors more and more on the mid-range and budget, and it doesn't look like they're going to be leaving anytime soon. So let me know how you guys feel about either the Helio G85 or G88 in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you think. Obviously, I'm going to see how optimized and how decent the software is compared with this, and we're going to see how this goes. It's not looking amazing though. It's not looking too great, let's say that, but we're going to check this out. We're going to give it a good old try. And we're going to see how it actually works when we get the phone in hand. But as you guys can see, the Geekbench 5 scores, they are a little bit low. The single core score is going to be 348, and the multi-core score is going to be 1329. Now, just take this with a grain of salt. We're going to do Geekbench 5 scores with this device when it comes out, so I wouldn't even look at this right now, but this is kind of like a precursor to what you might be getting. It does say Geekbench doesn't reveal any other specs of the Moto G Stylus 2023, but thanks to leaked renders, we know what the smartphone will look like, and of course it looks like this. This is the Black Beauty color, as it's going to state in a second, but it says it will pack a centered punch hole display and sport a dual camera setup on the rear, headlined by a 50 megapixel main camera. The Motorola Moto G Stylus 2023 will come with a stylus and feature a USB-C port at its bottom, flanked by a 3.5mm headphone jack, microphone, and speaker grill. It will have a volume rocker on the right side frame, joined by a power button, which could have a fingerprint reader embedded like last year's model. So that's pretty cool. We get to keep our 3.5mm headphone jack. As you guys know, on the Galaxy A54, we're not going to have one of those on that device, so great that we're going to leave that there, Motorola. Really appreciate it. It also looks like the fingerprint sensor is going to be embedded in the power button like last year's, it just said. So that's becoming like a trend on budget and mid-range phones. It looks like they're putting them back on the right side of the device. In recent years, it seems like the in-display fingerprint sensor was the new nice cool thing that budget phones did, but they're putting them back on the power button, and I don't have any issues with them unless they are not accurate. There are some devices like the Revel 6, had some bugs and certain things like that. So if they don't have any bugs and it works perfectly, love it. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you like the fingerprint sensor on the power button or in display? I think if it's accurate, if it's super accurate, the power button is always great. But I think as far as like keeping it safe and keeping it accurate, the in-display fingerprint sensors are actually much better. And it says the G Stylus 2023 is rumored to come in black beauty, as we said before, and crystal gray colors, and have 4G and 5G versions. Of course, we should hear more about both models in the coming weeks. So, you know, these specifications on this device don't really seem too exciting. I'm not super excited for them. I'm excited to see what this device brings. I'm excited to put it up against the A54, but the specifications on this device don't look too crazy, and it doesn't look like much has changed. Of course, the design is a little bit nicer. It's a little bit, you know, newer as far as like the back of the phone, but we kind of have, you know, the same old display with the hole punch in there. You know, we have a thick bezel at the bottom. Nothing looks too crazy on this device. I don't think there's going to be anything that stands out super crazy. One thing that I do hope they do, of course, I think I stated it before, is I hope they release new features on the Stylus instead of like the Moto Actions. Moto Actions are great, of course, but I'd love to see some new features for that Stylus that we get inside of there, and maybe something that we get some sort of cursor like the previous Note phones had. That'd be pretty cool as well, and put like a sensor and a battery inside of there and you can click it to take pictures or whatever. That would be pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think this device is going to be all right. I'm hoping that the price isn't going to be crazy, but yeah. Well, hopefully you guys have a great day. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Again, this has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.